In this video, we'll demonstrate how to configure our OpenShift cluster that is running on an IBM Cloud Satellite location for public login. In our case, the cluster is running on AWS. These instructions are available in the IBM Cloud documentation. Simply navigate to ibm.biz/sat-login. Note that before attempting these steps, you must be logged in to your IBM Cloud account from the command line. To begin, open your satellite locations page. From here, you can see which hosts were assigned as the control plane nodes and which nodes were assigned as worker nodes. And you can also see their internal IP addresses. Then, in AWS, open each EC2 instance to find and then map the internal IP address to the public IP address. I've built a table here. I have the public and private IP addresses for each control plane and then the public and private IP addresses for each worker node. For the purposes of this video, I've copied the commands from the documentation to my editor for ease of use. We'll run through these commands now. First, you'll notice that I've also recorded the satellite location name and my OpenShift cluster name. We'll need that for the commands below. So we begin by running the first command to retrieve the location subdomains. One of the things you'll notice about the results is that my control plane addresses have already been added. 3.22, 18.116, 52.14. That's because I ran this set of commands previously for another cluster on this satellite location. But we're going to continue to run the commands so you can see the process. Next, we'll retrieve the matching public IP addresses. As you can see here, you can see the infrastructure nodes and the worker nodes for the two clusters. Next, we'll register the control plane nodes with the location subdomain. Again, this has already been done. I'm just doing it for illustration purposes. I've put in the IP addresses here of the control planes and also pasted in my location name. And they are added successfully. We can verify that this was done correctly by running the sat location DNSLS command, and we can see that they were added. Next, we want to get the host name for our cluster. This is an internal address that we'll use in the commands below, which is right here. Now we're ready to add the public IP addresses of our worker nodes. We have to do it 3 times, once for each worker node. I've pasted in the public IP address of the worker node, the name of the cluster, and the NLB host that we retrieved from the previous command. Now that that's successful, we want to remove the private IP addresses of those worker nodes from the cluster subdomain. Again, I've pasted in the private IP address of each worker node. You can see that from above, 29, 167, 171, provided the cluster name and the NLB host again. After this completes, you can verify that this worked with this command. At this point, you can see that we have the public IPs of the worker nodes added to the list here. After a few minutes, you should be able to go back and log into your OpenShift cluster now. Bring up your list of OpenShift clusters, select your satellite cluster, then click OpenShift Web Console. This concludes the process to demonstrate how to configure your satellite cluster for remote login. Thanks for watching.